Hi everyone, my name is Kia Cannons and I am a mindset coach and an abstract artist. And usually I'm here every week to teach you a small, easy exercise or activity to help move you towards doing what you love. However, with everything going on in the world, this Good Friday and this Easter weekend, I don't want you to be thinking about things like that. I think it is wonderful to take a complete rest and a break from really thinking at all and really lean into having some rejuvenation and relaxation time. So what I thought I would share with you this week is a couple of tools around some things you can do to relax your mind and feel a state of relaxation from the wonderful, wonderful world of art. And I want to tell you two things in this video. The first one is about my concept that I believe, my philosophy, I suppose, of art. And it's all about breaking rules and doing it for the process, not for the result. So, anybody that is frightened of art, this is where you need to be. Anybody who perhaps has children and you're scared of getting the paints out because you don't know how to offer an activity, you feel like you need to control it, you don't know what to do, again, this is for you. And so we're going to get on after that into just a couple of ideas of things that you could do to play on this bank holiday weekend. So that just links in perfectly to talking about my philosophy. You see, art to me is simply the result of play. And I love the definition of play. It's basically to do something just for your pure amusement, but there will be no results to it, no defined result that you want, no outcome that's preset. It is just literally playing for your own amusement. And so when you apply that to creating art, then suddenly there is no pressure. You're actually creating art to enjoy the process of playing. And so that is what I want to encourage you to consider over this bank holiday weekend. If you have any instinct or impulse at all to do something creative, but that you perhaps have absolutely no idea where to start. You see, there's another part to my philosophy, which is that when you play and you create and you make art, you are tuning in to the very essence of who you are, the part of you that is living inside here, not inside your brain with all the thoughts we have whirling around our minds, particularly at the moment. And when you tune into who you are in here, who you are is actually deep, deep underneath all these layers of thoughts and conditioning and worries and anxieties. I believe is like a really still pool of calmness. And you can access that when you play. And when you play for your own amusement and you've got absolutely no attachment to the result of your play. And so that's why I kind of thought this is a good idea to share with you on this weekend where you've got 4 days, you haven't got the luxury of being able to go anywhere, particularly apart from your garden or for some exercise around the block. And so I thought maybe sharing with you this concept, because you may have never heard it from anyone before. I hadn't heard it for years, even when I became an artist and I'm self-taught just sort of 4 or 5 years ago. It took a while before I understood this concept and I was exposed to it. I thought art was you want to create something beautiful or something that looks very realistic or even something abstract. Well, then you need to sort of toil over it and it needs to be very heavy and very serious and very hard. And then I understood that there's a whole other realm of art, which is simply the whole reason we started making art in the first place was to express ourselves and to play. And when you do that, you drop into this beautiful state of what we call flow, or another word for that is just relaxation and not thinking. And if I can give you anything this weekend to help you not think, then I feel like I'm doing my job here. Because all I want to do ever in my weekly videos is support you emotionally and with your well-being and in particular your mindset. So sometimes it's really good for our minds to not do anything at all. So there you go. That is my philosophy on art. And one word as well on, if I've got any parents watching who love to make or want to, particularly probably the parents that don't love it yet, but really want to make art with their children. The whole point of art, and the way that I have found with my own children, I've got two boys that are 8 and 10, and we've been painting since they were in nappies. And the way that I have discovered doing art with my kids and enjoying every moment is by remembering what I'm kind of telling you here, like reminding myself that there doesn't need to be a definite outcome. So just because, for example, this morning, my idea was, let's paint these little wooden Easter eggs. I bought them a while ago and I was really, really looking forward to it. And my one son got really, really into it. The other one painted it, got cross with it, and wanted to go on the trampoline. Now, the old me, before I kind of learned this philosophy of it's just for play, the value in art is as much about the nourishment it gives you from being allowed to just play and drop into a state of relaxation, is just as important, if not more, I'd say, than having an outcome, which is we're going to make Easter eggs today. And so what I learned is just don't have any preconceived ideas if you're painting with children as to what they need to do. They may get really, really into your idea. Maybe you've printed something off the internet and they might be really excited. But if they sit there and go, that doesn't excite me, and you can tell by their body language that even though you're really excited and you're feeling like, I can do this, that they might not be. Allow that and let them go in whatever direction they want to go in. And that is, if that is away from the table, then just enjoy that time for yourself and don't feel guilty about it, because your brain will tell you immediately, well, I can't sit here and enjoy doodling and playing. It was worthwhile when I was doing it with the children, when it was a parenting task, but now I can't do it. You've got to notice those thoughts and shut them down and give yourself time to play. So I found that the one son went off and then my other son played with me for ages and just did his own thing. And that's what's really important. Give the opportunity for children to play, but don't have constraints on what they create or how they create it. Let them find a way. For example, I just thought that my kids would just paint these things, but my eldest was just loving getting big tubs of paint that I've got out, my really expensive professional paint, and then dipping them half in, and then later on he's going to dip one in a different colour. And so, that wasn't my idea, and I'm so glad that I didn't say this is how it has to be done, because, oh look, it's still wet. Thankfully, like me, he isn't a perfectionist, and that won't matter. And so when I don't try to control the painting activity, everybody has more fun, and you allow them to tune into their own creativity, such as my son this morning thinking I want to dip them into pots of paint, and I just think, let's encourage that. Who cares that it's expensive paint? He's in his zone and he's having fun. So that was just one point on if you're painting with children. Now, if you're painting yourself, again, same thing. Don't put any constraints on yourself or expectations of what you have to create. Remember that this is about creating for the pure enjoyment of it, for the value you get from the process of playing. That's the key thing. Like, maybe tell yourself this. Especially if you're like a bit of a perfectionist and you want it to be all perfect, and you know that you'll get upset if you try and draw a tree and it doesn't look like a tree or what have you. Remind yourself, I am making art because of the value it gives me in the process of playing. The end result has nothing to do with it. I'm here to give myself a nourishing experience of simply playing and dropping into that state of flow that creativity gives you. Sorry, I'm getting excited now, so I sped up before I finish my sentence. So here are some ideas as to what you could actually do, because I know that some people that have never done this kind of thing before, like art, can feel like, I don't have a clue what I would do here. I need help just getting started. So one of my absolute favourite things to do when I just need a hit of relaxation, painting and flow, but I have not got a brain cell available to kind of get any more involved emotionally than that, then what I love to do is get my existing paints out, and it can be paints, it can be colouring crayons, it can be colouring pencils, it can really be anything that you can make a mark with. And I make up beautiful little swatches. So with these ones, I was simply getting the paint straight out of the tube or straight from the watercolor or out of my ink jar and just literally painting it and then writing on the back, this is Golden Payne's Grey. So writing what it is. This one is Winsor & Newton. It's a professional acrylic cobalt turquoise. And then if you want to take this a step further, like first of all, you can just make up swatches of all of the colors that you have. And these will come in super useful if you want to get into a bit of an artistic practice. If you do that and you enjoy it, then another time you might think, right, I just want to play, but I'd quite like the colors to go together. Well, then you can reach for these and find, pick 3 or 4 that you feel go together, and you've picked your first palette easily, and it was fun. Another way that I use them, if I got, one here, is that I like to mix up colours that I really like. So that's not out of a tube. That is, as I can see on the back, Liquitex Phthalo Blue Green Shade with a little bit of Black Bone Golden. And so it's really fun to be able to remind yourself how you've made certain colours. Again, I've kind of got a different recipe for that colour, and being a bit of a nerdy artist, I like to tell the difference. And so that's another way of doing it, using them as a way to record the colours that you've made and remind yourself what you used to make those colours. So that's just one idea for you. Another one is, it's Easter, and you might think, I want to do something Eastery with the children. You, like me, might be thinking, I really wanted to go and get some crafts before Easter. There was this little wooden Easter egg that I really wanted to paint, which actually I did buy, and then my son eyed it up and decided he was desperate to paint it for his grandmother for Mother's Day. So I was like, I gave it to him. I thought, I'll buy one again. And then, of course, all of this happened and I haven't got to. I know that my children really wanted to get some of those little fluffy little chicks that are always around at Easter and do something with them. Last year, they made a big cardboard box apartment for them, which was hilarious. And so, if you literally, a bit like I am, like I don't have much Eastery stuff. I've got these 5 little wooden eggs that the children have stolen, so I haven't got to do one myself. Then what I did this morning, which just gave me so much joy, I cannot tell you. I think I must have done this in my childhood. And I remember my 10-year-old, when he was 2, won a local supermarket Easter competition because he coloured in a set of Easter eggs like this. And I remember just thinking, I really want to do that myself one day. 8 years later, this is what I did this morning. So all this is, you just need like a felt tip pen, marker, whatever, some paper or cardboard, or, heavy, this is sort of medium weight paper. And I just drew an Easter egg, and I just had so much joy just colouring it in. The same with this one here. And I just want to give you a little bit of a tip for how you can get a really nice vivacity on. Can you see? Let me just have a look at my screen and see whether you can see the lines. I don't know if if I hold it really far. So can you see like these purple lines at the bottom? And in fact, this is like this band of turquoise here. It's got green lines on it. Difficult to sort of show you. And they are showing up really, really bright. So I just wanted to give you a little tip, because you probably, if you have got any kind of art kit around, you're likely to have, at a minimum, coloured pencils and watercolours. And so this is simply a lovely trick that I learned from Jenny Maisels, who is an incredible illustrator, and she makes the pop-up books in the UK for children. Absolutely incredible. She taught me this technique, and it has changed the way that I view colouring, because I didn't think that I could colour, and I always used to have a lot of resistance around it until I learned this. So I just want to pass this little technique on, which is that you do a lovely big swatch of watercolour. Another version of watercolour, which is a little bit different, is gouache. I've used gouache here because, funnily enough, I don't have watercolour. But gouache is very similar to watercolour. It behaves in the same way. If you wet this now, it will go back to being wet and spread around the page, which is different to maybe like acrylics or oils, that kind of thing. Actually, oils you could probably do that with as well. Ignore that. The point is, make a swatch as thickly as you can of watercolour paint, or gouache if you had gouache. And the great thing about this is it's like chalk. I expect you could do it with chalk paint, even if you had some chalk paint that's just for furniture. I don't know, maybe have a go. Maybe don't leave your children on their own if they're doing that, but if you are an adult and you're having a go. Something that is chalky is what you want here. And then the great thing is that when you use coloured pencils on top of it, and it takes a little bit of practice of trying different colours to see which coloured pencils show up the brightest, is that when you draw on this, you can like get this like seriously bright colours on top. And so I think for doing some beautiful Easter colouring or art or whatever you want to do, I think a really great way is simply to draw yourself an egg shape, maybe with a black felted pen or a marker, fill it with a chalky kind of paint, and then simply, like I've done, make the typical bands, do little patterns. I invited the children to do this with me this morning. As you know, one left, the other one painted the rest of the eggs a bit, and I had an hour of, again, like here's another little kind of swatch that I did, where I did huge swatches and drew the egg in the middle, and I might cut it out. I might hang it up just because it's Easter and we don't have any decorations because we can't find them because we moved house not that long ago, and my husband is refusing to go on the loft, and I don't blame him because it's a bank holiday. So I might stick that up. Maybe you want to make some decorations to make, the holiday feel a bit more like a holiday. But either way, whatever you do, I just want to invite you to experience the pure joy and pleasure of pure play when it comes to creativity. Do it for the process of experiencing the process of play. Simply experiencing, like this is the nub of it. When you've got your coloured pencil and you're simply thinking, I don't know what I want to do. I might do zigzags, I might do lines. I feel like doing dots. Oh, what other colour gets me? Oh, what does this peach colour look like on this line? Oh, yeah, no, that looks really good. Oh, I'm going to play with this for a little while. And then you get bored of that and you think, oh, I might go for this colour. What I'm doing when I'm saying out loud the process, I've dropped into a state of flow. I'm not thinking of the bills. I'm not thinking about the fact that we haven't got an Easter Sunday dinner and we're just going to have something out of the freezer and put things together. All of that is gone because I'm in this state of flow, and that will give you the most incredible sense of peace, ease, and relaxation. And I really, really do think, I saw Susie Walker, our editor-in-chief of Psychology Today, put up a beautiful post in one of the Facebook pages, which is something, I can't remember her exact words, but it was something along the lines of, what are you going to do this weekend that will enable you to totally unwind? It was something like that. And I thought, wow, what a fantastic message from Susie. Totally unwind. It's the bank holiday. It is okay to stop doing, stop thinking, stop trying, stop putting expectations on yourself, and just be. And so this is my invitation for you to have a gateway into just being. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me at hello@kiacannons.com. You'll see my email address underneath this video. I'll be checking my emails over the weekend, and if you have any questions, would like any further advice, don't hesitate to get in touch. I hope that you can truly unwind this weekend, enjoy the beautiful weather if you are in the UK and you're getting this incredible weather that we're getting here in the south, and I will see you next week.